How's it going, everybody? The Seer here, and we have a packed blog post that we're going to try to decipher together for you. There's going to be a lot of information in here. The short version is going to be that the Kyln Tower is going to be returning on Monday. So make sure that you get your rosters ready. I'm going to put a timestamp in the description below. In that timestamp is going to be kind of some teams that you can kind of use, and hopefully we can try to get through this Kyln Tower together. Now, a little advice is that the Orcus is mentioned on 2 of the sections, along with other teams. So you may need to actually use those Orcus members if they actually cater to it. But considering they put other teams with them, hopefully we can try to find a solution that you guys can actually use together. Let's go ahead and start this blog post. So the Living Sentinel, this is going to be that Omega Sentinel that is the 5th member of the Orcus team. So here's your battle plans for September 20th through the 27th. For September 23rd, which is Monday, there's going to be the new battle pass featuring Ares. Operation Omega. This is going to earn revolution orbs from the Omega Assault, plus battle in raids with Orcus characters and use power cores. So try to save your power cores if you want to try to get a little bit of a jumpstart on this event. There's going to be the Mutant Rebellion Web event. This is going to get you Thanos Annihilator orbs. And the Dark Future Alliance event. I've really liked these events as far as the Alliance portion goes. The rewards are very impactful to try to get you to that Dark Dimension 8. So definitely try to do this together as an Alliance. Push as high as you can. My Alliance just got the finish of this today, the day that I'm actually recording this, which was Thursday. Now this is going to be battle and raids. You're going to get bonus points for using Sentinel, Nimrod, and Omega Sentinel. Now remember, this is an Alliance event, so you should be able to try to come together, complete this as a whole. So don't try to feel pressured that you need to actually get these characters and purchase them. You're also going to collect Allied Supply 6 orb fragments, and there's going to be a Blitz event for Scientist Supreme. Considering they keep doing these Blitz events for older characters, that is actually impactful. The characters that got reworked. I'm all for this as a nice catch-up mechanic for those newer players and mid-game players that might not have them at 7 stars. Scientist Supreme is actually a really good character now, so I'm happy that they're doing this. There's also going to be the Omega Assault. This is going to be the Kyln Tower. So we're going to look at this later on in the video. Again, timestamps in the description if you just want to jump ahead to that. So for September 27th, there's going to be the Mercenary Mayhem Quick Rumble. Blitz with the Mercs for Money team. I wish they would bring that one event back to where you were getting a lot of gold for blitzing with the Mercs for Money team. That event was amazing. All right, so the Omega Sentinel deploying soon. On Monday, the 23rd, this is going to be the cores, basically the 675. Now, my advice is to save your cores. Don't use it on this character. You're able to do the tech section of the highest difficulty of the Omega by using the 4-piece and Mysterio as the 5th character. So you don't need Omega Sentinel for the Orcus team to work. Now, will you need her for the Kyln Tower? That's to be seen. But I would definitely recommend saving your power cores. Use it for Blade or use it for Oath, aka Karen Page. Those 2 characters look very impactful. They both have a lot of plug-and-play capabilities, so you get more value out of going for those characters, and this will give you a nice way to kind of stockpile. So even though there's going to be that event up here where it says use your power cores, don't do it. If you want, do your 50 core resets or your energy if you want to go that route, but I would pass on her. Now, there's going to be the Orcus team showcase. Also going live on the same day as the Omega Sentinel Arise is the Orcus team showcase. Don't forget that you'll need golden ciphers to launch chapter 2 missions. So make sure you grab golden ciphers from Omega Assault's rewards and the Omega Sentinel activation milestone. You don't want to miss out on the team showcase rewards, which includes a guaranteed 3 diamond for Nimrod on chapter 2 mission 5 first time reward, plus a chance for Silver Surfer diamond credits and more. Now, my recommendation is I've only used these ciphers to do the first time rewards on these considering how long these events last, I'm hoping to actually get more stars on these characters. That way, I can farm the higher difficulty and just knock them out all out in one go. I believe I have about 15 of the regular ciphers. The golden ciphers, we'll need to see what the cap is, but I would do that as well. Just kind of save those until it's like the last day and then just farm that last node. Now the Sentinel Transcendence Orb and Omega Sentinels activation. Earn Sentinel Transcendence Orbs from the Omega Assault and then open them to rack up Omega Sentinel character shards. So this is the team orb with Omega Sentinel, it looks like. Hopefully it's not going to be as bad of a drop rate as those Thanos orbs. The Nimrod's fairly bad. I think it's in between the Gore and Thanos for the drop rates. I'm not positive, but I think that's about where it kind of landed. The Orcus Overload will also be temporarily replacing the daily Save the World streak milestone. Each Sentinel Transcendent Orb open scores points towards the Omega Sentinel activation milestone. Will you find even more Omega Sentinel shards? Now, this part here I really like. The Orcus Omega reward update. So basically, the short version is they're increasing the amount of Armory 19 that you're going to be able to get for the completions. So let's go ahead and look through this. To celebrate the release of the full Orcus team, we are increasing the quantities of Armory 19 orb fragments and Crimson Gear raid orb fragments for the Orcus Omega again. This update aims to bring up the rewards for difficulty 3, 40% completion rewards closer to difficulty 2's 70%, as well as making difficulty 2's 100% rewards a bigger increase from difficulty 1. So what this tells me is that this probably is kind of a first strike for this, especially since the Night Stalkers team is coming out next. We're going to have the full solution very quickly for this. So I definitely see a future to where this is the first strike, and maybe shortly after the Night Stalker team comes out, because everybody's going to be hitting that 100%, and people's going to be fighting for those leaderboard spots. So they're probably going to be doing that first strike. Then the new raid's going to come out where it's not the first strike, and they're going to ramp up that difficulty. So as far as the changes for the Armory 19 orb fragments, difficulty 1 70% is 2800. It's going up to 3100. The 100% is going from 4000 to 4100. So it's a pretty good bump on the 70%. The hundreds a little bit, but every little bit helps. For difficulty 2, 40%. The 2800 is going up to 3000, so next for 200. 70% is 3900. That's going up to 4000, so only 100 there. However, the 100% is going from 5,000 to 5,500. So an extra 500 fragments. That's actually meaningful. Now for difficulty 3, 40%. 3,000 is going up to 3,800. So an extra 800. 70% is 5,100 going to 5,400. So that's actually a very big bump on the 40%. The 70% get an extra 300. That's pretty good as well. Now, these changes are going to go live on Monday, September 23rd at 2 p.m. Now, for the Weekend Blitz Hunter update. In our recent Path to Orcus blog, we mentioned that an event called Weekend Blitz Hunters would reward resources that include ciphers and Thanos endgame shards. We've made some changes to our upcoming event schedule due to these updates. Weekend Blitz Hunter events will no longer take place, so they're scrapping that. However, the rewards associated with these events will now be distributed across the Path to Night Stalkers event. I really want to see this blog so that way we can kind of see if they're making any changes to the accessibility and farmability of the Night Stalkers based on what's going on with Orcus. So including the Thanos endgame shards previously called out as the reward in the Weekend Blitz Hunter events. Stay tuned for more details. So for the Omega Assault. So this is the Kyln. So if you guys haven't done this before, or this is going to be your second attempt at it, basically it looks like about every 4 months is going to be a Kyln Tower. So we had one 4 months ago, then 8 months ago. So basically you're going to have a 3-man team. You're going to climb up the tower, and you're going to get a lot of rewards. Don't feel pressured into building your roster because there are going to be gear tier required. So if you're like at the gear tier 16 and you're still trying to get those gear tier 17, don't feel obligated to do that. Definitely look at the rewards. Is the juice worth the squeeze? I always kind of say that saying for that, but is it worth it to actually use your gear and kind of maybe hamper your roster to get those rewards? Definitely look to see if it actually works. So as if being an inmate on Kyln wasn't tough enough, now Sentinels are attacking the prison. That's right, Escape from Kyln is back as Omega Assault. And just like Escape from Kyln, Omega Assault asks you to battle through floors of enemies in exchange for big rewards. This time the rewards include ciphers. Again, I've been just hoarding these. For the Orcus Showcase, Omega Assault calls upon your entire roster, including some of Strike's newest teams. So review the below cell trait requirements to prepare. Here are the rules for Omega Assault. So for Escape the Assault, Omega Assault contains 52 total cells to battle through in order to escape. And the cramped confines of the prison-like tower means you can only battle with 3 character squads, based on each cell's trait requirement. While all players level 60 and up can participate, only commanders with the strongest roster will have a good chance of escaping. Now the Assault rules. There are no cooldown periods for characters after battle. Health and abilities persist between battles for players and enemies. Characters can't be healed between battles. You'll remain in the same cell after losing a battle. You're not going to drop down. Restarting a run will drop you down to floor 1, heal your characters, and reset your score. Completing a cell earns milestone reward. Now for the traits. Cells 1 through 4 is the no restriction. Basically, these 4 floors for the no restriction. Look to see what characters you're going to be using and characters that you need to set cooldowns for. That's the main goal for this. So like if you have Super Scroll, throw him in here, get it to where his ultimate's ready. That way when you actually need him for the villain bio section, for instance, you can actually have that ultimate ability ready. Floors 5 to 7. You can be using Guardian or Infinity Watch. Cells 8 to 10 is going to be the Avengers. Now remember, this is a wide Avenger trait. So there's going to be Secret Defenders, New Avengers, Young Avengers, Wave 1 Avengers. So basically that's just open traits for anything that has Avengers in it. 11 to 13 is going to be Global Skill. 14 to 16 is going to be City Mystic. 17 to 19 is Asgardian. Now if you end up getting Odin, you can use him on this. He has that Asgardian tag. Cells 20 to 22, Spider-Verse tech or Spider-Verse skill. So there's no Spider-Verse bio that you can use. However, the Spider-Verse does have those dual traits to where they are kind of they were the skill Ray team. So that does kind of open it up. Cells 23 to 24 is going to be Global Mystic. And as you see here, 20 to 24 is going to require Gear Tier 15. Cells 25. So this looks like it might be a boss node. It's by itself. This is going to be Global Mystic. You need Gear Tier 16. 26 to 28 is a Villain Mutant. That's Gear Tier 16 as well. 29 looks like this might be a boss floor. You need Hero Tech. So that means that you can use some of those Spider-Verse characters, for instance. Gear Tier 16 is a requirement for that. Now, floors 30 to 31 is going to require Gear Tier 17, and that's going to be Hero Tech. 32 to 34 is X-Men. So that's a very broad X-Men take. So you can use your Old Man Logan, Extreme X-Men, Unlimited X-Men, any X-Men you have built up. You do need Gear Tier 17. Now for 35 to 37, that's going to be your Legendary. You need Gear Tier 18 for these. For 38 to 40, Villain Bio or Undying. Now remember, the first Kyln we had, this was kind of the ending point because we needed that Undying. You do need Gear Tier 18 for this. 41 to 43. We had this as a Kyln before as well when Spider-Verse came out. So this is going to be your Spider-Verse skill, not so there's no bio or tech. So that does kind of limit it down a little bit. And this is going to be Gear Tier 18. For 44 to 46, this is going to be Cabal or Underworld. We had this as a Kyln Tower before. You need gear tier 18. Now this is going to be the new floors. 47 to 49 is going to be Orcus or Alpha Flight. You need gear tier 18 for this. 50 to 52 is Orcus again, and you're going to need that or the Annihilators. That's gear tier 19. So we do need to see if the Annihilators will actually work on this, or if they are scaling this where you need that Orcus team. It wouldn't surprise me if they're going to try to make it kind of built around Omega Sentinel, since they're going to be launching on the same day. So definitely keep that in mind. If you are at endgame and you need that gear tier 19, I would try to see if there's going to be other ways. I'm sure we're going to find a solution that you might be able to use those Annihilators. Like maybe Thanos endgame would be one of the 3 characters that you need on there. Now, what's going to be the rewards for this? So break free from as many cells as possible to earn T3 crystals, ISO 8 credits, and level 1 ions. So this is going to have that purple ISO for the rewards in here. Now there's going to be Crimson and Teal gear credits, gold, training modules. There's going to be Guardian shards, red stars, and diamonds. So that's very nice that we're getting Guardian in here. So this is probably part of that phase 2 of the release method for Guardian still. In addition to Revolution orbs for the Operation Omega event and gold ciphers for the Orcus showcase. The escape from Omega Assault begins on September 23rd, basically at reset, so on Monday. Now for the free claim for Friday, there's going to be 9,000 Sentinel cores and 5,000 Sentinel scraps. Make sure to grab the free claim. Definitely do that. Just go to the website, sign in, get the nice free stuff that they give you every day. Now the Autumn Revolution event, the Operation Omega. Continue your Dark Dimension upgrades with Crimson Bio Gear and Purple ISO 8 resources with this important mission. Climb the leaderboard to upgrade Omega Sentinel up to 3 diamonds for the Omega Sentinel. So how to score points? Earn Revolution orbs for your Omega Assault and battle in raids with Orcus characters. More points for higher Yellow Star characters. There's going to be milestone rewards, Crimson Mystic Gear, and Purple ISO 8 resources. They're really dishing out this Purple ISO. Considering that Odin event lasts for 30 days, I think that there's going to be a lot of Odins out there by the end of this. Now there's going to be the leaderboard rewards. There's going to be 3 diamonds for Omega Sentinel. The Autumn Revolution rewards, the Power Dampener and Sentinel cores. The event starts on September 23rd, so that's Monday. Or the Mutant Rebellion web milestone. Rack up important Operation Omega progress with this web event. Scoring strategy. Earn Thanos Annihilator orb fragments. Prizes. Operation Omega milestone points. And this starts on Monday as well. Now for the Dark Future, this is that Alliance raiding event. So this is going to start on Monday as well. Battling in raids. Bonus points for using Omega Sentinel, and Nimrod, and collecting Allied Supply 6 orb fragments. Earn more points from Orcus raid nodes, rewards with bonus points for Orcus tech nodes. Higher difficulties give larger point quantities. Gather Sentinel cores to strengthen your forces. Now the Mercenary Mayhem Quick Rumble. This is just a quick rumble. Basically just use your mercs for money, do those 3 or 4 rotations, and you're done. You're going to get the Sentinel cores on this, and that's going to be on the 27th. Until next time, good luck, Commanders. So let's go ahead and jump in game. We're going to kind of go over what teams I'm looking to use, and hopefully this will kind of give you a little bit of an idea. So this is my current saved squad. I already have it set in the Tower tab on here, and what I'm looking at is what teams and characters are going to be working the best, which ones I want to try to prep. Now, I haven't really set the no restriction yet. However, just kind of doing a quick raise through on this. Having it to where Vol is ready, to have it to where they can pop their ult on turn 1, kind of get the ability energy racked up, wouldn't be a bad thing. Another character would be Super Scroll. So those are 2 characters right off the bat I'm already looking to use in that no restriction section. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at this. So the first section is going to be that Guardian or Infinity Watch. That's going to be cells 5 to 7. So I'm looking to use Gamora, Nebula, and Cosmo. The reason for that is we've used these in the past, and they usually do fairly well to kind of get through that section without much hassle. The next section is going to be the Avengers. So Hank Pym does have the Avenger tag. He's definitely going. He's a great character, and I can use him later on that you see down here. So being able to get those abilities prepped for him is going to be pretty massive. Pun intended. Tigra, and then there's going to be Captain America. Captain America can dish out ability energy as well to kind of keep the team moving. Now, for the next section is going to be global skill. So I'm definitely going to be using Black Knight. And if you put Nick Fury between Black Knight and whoever else you want to use, make him a Raider. If he ends up critting on his basic, he's going to be able to dish ability energy out. That's why I had the placement there for this one. I'm looking to use maybe Mockingbird as the third one, just kind of give that extra sustain to the team. The next section is going to be City Mystic. So Ghost Rider Robbie, Spider-Man Noir. I think those are two no-brainers. The Mr. Negative, I was trying to find another one that would kind of work well. I'm leaning towards Mr. Negative because of those summons. Being able to do turn rewind anytime those minions get killed off, I think that could be pretty impactful. The next section is going to be the Asgardian, cells 17 to 19. So Thor, Infinity War, Vol, and Beta Ray Bill are going to be the three I'm currently looking at. I could see a world where Hela would work pretty well in here. The other characters I don't really see. Maybe Sylvie for one of the floors if you need to do that turn meter rewind. I kind of want to look at the floors again to see if Sylvie would be another option for this. Now for the next section, cells 20 to 22. This is going to be your Spider-Verse tech or Spider-Verse skill. I'm just going to use Spider Society. The 3 new characters, this should walk over this floor pretty easily. Now the next section is going to be the Global Mystic, cells 23 to 24. So Captain Britain, Black Panther Shuri, and Spider-Weaver is currently who I'm looking to use for this. Now if you don't have Captain Britain, there could be other options that you can use for that Global Mystic, which I put over here. Using Agatha, remember that she is getting that rework. She won't have the stats for it, but you're going to want to build her up anyways. Make her adjacent to Morgan Le Fay, that way anytime she uses the basic, Morgan's going to get called in for that assist who does the percentile damage. You can also use Quicksilver as a third option for this, or if you want, throw that Black Panther Shuri in if you do have her big enough. The Spider-Weaver, depending on the floor, I think she would be a good option as well if you need a little bit extra control for that floor. Now the next section is going to end up being the Villain Mutant. That's going to be cells 26 to 28. Apocalypse is going to be a given. I think Dakin could be pretty good for this as well. If you have your Cabal team worked up, and you might need to get some cooldowns ready to kind of get to where he can get back up to his ult, I think Namor could be a good option. If you need to get ahead of the enemy team on this floor, Emma Frost is always a great option to kind of do that rewind. Now you do need to get her up to Hero Tier 16 if you don't have her up there already. Archangel, if you built him up previously, he works pretty well with Apocalypse, where you can kind of get that ability energy out and get that extra crit chance out to Apocalypse. The next floor that we're going to look at is going to be Hero Tech. This is going to be cell 29, so just the boss floor. So for Hero Tech, I'm looking at Hank Pym. I'm looking at Guardian to be able to get that offense up to the team. And I'm looking at Penny. Penny's going to have really good control. Another option is going to be Kestrel for this floor. So it's a matter if you want Kestrel or Guardian, I think. The offense up, I think, is going to be kind of impactful. Penny being able to do those stuns and control, I think she's going to be impactful as well. So it'd be more Kestrel or Guardian, I believe. Hank Pym is just so good. I'd always recommend bringing him if you have the chance. Now, the next section is going to be the X-Men. This is going to be cell 32 to 34. So for this one, Old Man Logan's a no-brainer. I think Nightcrawler's a no-brainer. It's that next character So I think depending on the floor, you might want to bring Gambit to get those pings out. Rogue would be a good option to get the control out there. Or you can use Forge. The issue with Forge is going to be those long cooldowns. I don't think you'll need him. I think it's going to be more Rogue or Gambit. We really need to see those floors again to see which is going to be the better option for that. Now, the next section is going to be Legendary. It sells 35 to 37. You're going to need gear tier 18 for this floor. Old Man Logan, Green Goblin Classic, Black Cat. I think that's going to be the best option. Depending on the floor, I could see maybe bringing Nova just to kind of get that stun out there in the battlefield effect. But I think this is going to be the best legendary team that you can use. Now, the next one's going to end up being the Villain Bio or Undying. Again, you need gear tier 18. This is going to be cells 38 to 40. Now, before it used to be Super Scroll with the Undying characters to kind of get through this. I think using the Annihilators, because of how good they are and those stats that they have, even if you don't have them at the 6 stars like I do, I think they're going to work very well at 3 or 4 stars. And it's just going to be getting the gear tier on them if you're not in the gear tier 18 portion of the game yet. So I'm going to be using Super Scroll, Gladiator, and probably Gore for this. I don't think I'll need Zombie Juggernaut or anything like that. So the next one's going to end up being the Spider-Verse skill. So again, the 3 new Spider-Verse characters walked over this previously. This was cell 41 to 43. Now we're getting into the end portion of this. So 44 to 46 was Cabal or Underworld. Cabal walked over it. Everybody should have a pretty big Cabal by now. They're farmable. They're really good everywhere as far as being in Cosmic Crucible or War. They work very well on War defense. Now the big one's going to be 47 to 49 is Orcus or Alpha Flight. I'm pretty sure this floor is going to be worked more towards the Orcus side of things than Alpha Flight side of things. This is going to be geared tier 18. Now, as far as characters on this, Lady Deathstrike is fantastic. The turn rewind, how she can just chop through people with that ultimate, the basic being unavoidable. She's really good. I took her up to 3 diamond, gear tier 19. I just shot her up. Purple ISO is going to be going on her for me. Nimrod, they're probably going to have those mutant characters on there to where you're going to want to use Nimrod. The issue is going to be the 3rd member. If they're going to be needing Sentinel, so that way the Safeguard kind of gets on the team, getting the bots out there for the on-spawn taunts. We don't know if Sentinel's going to be required or if it's going to be Scientist Supreme. Because Scientist Supreme being able to flood the enemy team with those debuffs, being able to help keep your Orcus team alive, that's going to be the question, if we need Scientist Supreme or not. Now, again, this is going to be the same day that Omega Sentinel comes out. She may end up being that 3rd member instead. So we really want to see what happens with that. Now, floors 50 to 52 is going to be Orcus or Annihilators. Again, I have a feeling that Orcus is going to be required. We might be able to use our Annihilator team. I would prefer to use the Annihilator team because I actually took them up to gear tier 19. But they might want to try to push you into using gear tier 19 on the Orcus team. So definitely be mindful of that. Again, look at the rewards as far as the leaderboards that's going to be on here. If there was the leaderboard, I think there was. Or just the milestone rewards for completing that last floor. Is that going to be worth using your gear tier 19 pieces? I'm still kind of stingy on who I take up to gear tier 19. If my mini uniques drop under like 200 or 300, I usually get very cautious about who I'm taking up. Right now in the supply store, I buy any of the gear mini uniques for gear tier 19 just to make sure I keep my stockpile up. I don't want to fall behind on those. So I'm going to kind of take this cautiously on that last 2 floors or 3 floors, 50 to 52. I want to see if I do need to take Orcus up to tier 19, and if so, I want to see which character is going to be required for that before I actually equip them. So be mindful, don't feel pressured into doing that, okay? But this is going to be my list. If you want, I could put this in the comments and description portion of the video as well with that timestamp. Just let me know, and I'll be happy to kind of share this list out with you guys. Now, if you did enjoy this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up, share, and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, have a wonderful rest of the day, all.